So this maximum gain amplifier, it is one of the special case of the high gain amplifier, where we will see the high gain. So the gain will be specified, how much gain we require, okay. But in maximum gain amplifier, what is the available maximum gain, we will going to design. So this is what yesterday we did, the high gain amplifier design, okay. So where we have the constant gain circle for input and output in order to obtain at the input output matching network the particular gain, okay. So now this circle will reduce to single point in a maximum amplifier, that is maximum gain amplifier. So that we'll going to see. So the today maximum gain amplifier design. Okay, so as I said, this is a special case of high gain amplifier design. So where the input output stability circles, okay, so the input output constant gain circles, okay, constant gain circles reduces to a single point, okay, single point. So that single point, so actually we need to define from the source reflection coefficient, which is nothing but the complex conjugate of input reflection coefficient, okay. And similarly gamma L, so which will be reduces to the single point, which is gamma out star. So now after getting this, so these values generally we will going to get from this gamma in expression, where we have the gamma in and gamma out in terms of the S11 and S22. So that is S11 plus S12 S21 gamma L divided by M1 minus S22 gamma L, and similarly here S22 plus S12 S21 gamma S divided by 1 minus S11 gamma S. So this whatever we have expressions, so this gamma S and gamma L will reduce us to S11 and S22, okay. So single point, so that we need to see for the unilateral case and bilateral case. So again we have two cases, that is unilateral case and we have the bilateral case, okay. So now for unilateral case, your S12 will be 0, so this gamma in and gamma out especially it will give S11 and S22. So now if you take the unilateral case, so first we need to find out, so since we are assuming, so in the unilateral case, even though if S12 is not equal to 0, we are assuming S12 which is equal to 0. So now if I assume, so the S12 which is equal to 0, now we need to find out what is the maximum tolerable error, how much error it will come if I going to assume S12 as 0. That is, say for example S12, so which is having something like 0.04 at an angle some 65 degree, whatever it is. So since the value, so which is slightly less than, that is the lesser value compared to the 0 value, so we can approximate this one as 0. Now if I approximate this value as a 0, how much error I will going to get in the maximum gain, that is while calculating the gain. So that maximum tolerable error, okay, so we need to calculate maximum tolerable error. So if I calculate this error, then final gain will going to see how much gain it will going to come. So then we have to compare the final gain with this, what is the error which is going to come. So now this error which will be calculated between, that is epsilon, this is called as maximum tolerable error, that epsilon. So less than or equal to GT by GTU and then less than or equal to epsilon. So now this whatever the maximum gain, so that will going to achieve. So what is the tolerable, so error which is there, so that we need to see in the unilateral case. So then, so once we assume, so even though if it is not 0, if we assume, so then your gamma S will be equal to, see the gamma in star, and gamma L will be equal to gamma out star. So that is complex conjugate of these values, or we can write the complex conjugate of gamma, that gamma in is complex conjugate of gamma S, and so gamma out will be complex conjugate of gamma L. So that we can, in terms of S11 and S22 value also, we will going to get this gamma in and gamma out. So then we can, especially we can write this one. So if the unilateral case, so it is nothing but S11 star and S22 star. So once we know the S parameters, we can able to get what is the error and also what is the maximum gain. So now for this unilateral case, so we can get the maximum transducer gain, which is nothing but GS max, G naught and GL max. So now this GS max and GL max we will going to get from these two values, where these points we need to match it at the input output, so matching network. So once we match, we will going to get what is the GS max and GL max. So that GS max, so in terms of the S parameters, we will write it as 1 minus S11 square. So this is for the again unilateral case, whatever we are assuming, and GL max we will going to get 1 over 1 minus S22 square. So now by taking these S11 and S22 values, we can able to find out what is the maximum value of the gain. So now this is a unilateral case, so where we are assuming S1 to S0 and we are calculating the error and also the gain. Now if I take the bilateral case, so you have to use the matching simultaneously conjugate matching reflection coefficient as gamma L and gamma S. So then we have to equate it to that one, that is gamma S we have to equate it to gamma MS, that is matching, so simultaneously conjugate matching of the source side, and similarly gamma L we have to equate it to gamma L. So these equations we have already seen in yesterday's. So that is gamma MS we can write it as B1 plus square root of B1 square minus 4 C1 square, so divided by 2 times C1. Similarly gamma ML we can write it as B2 plus or minus, so square root of B2 square minus 4 times C2 square divided by 2C2, and we can write that B1 which is equal to 1 plus S11 square minus S22 square minus delta square, and similarly B2 we can write it as 1 plus S22 square minus S11 square minus delta square, and C1, so which is nothing but S11 minus delta S22 star, and C2 S22 minus delta S11 star. So these are all the equation for bilateral case. So in your the thing only we have designed unilateral case, there is no bilateral case. So now we will take one design of such maximum amplifier gain and what is the tolerable error we can able to calculate, so for a particular design. So now we can take one problem and we will try to do this maximum amplifier design. So that is, so we can take this problem, a gallium arsenide MESFET, okay, so is measured to have the following S parameters, okay, for a mid-range Q point, so that is VDS which is equal to 5 volt and ID which is equal to 10 milliampere at 10 gigahertz. So now we need to design a maximum amplifier, okay, so design a maximum gain amplifier, okay. So now once we get the S parameters, so the S parameters which is given it as S11 which is equal to 0.55 at an angle minus 150 degree, S12 which is equal to 0.04 at an angle 20 degree, and S21 which is equal to 2.82 at an angle 180 degree, and S22 which is equal to 0.45 at an angle minus 30 degree, okay. So now for this you can see, so S12 is nearly, so the less value, so which is approximately we can take it as 0 and we can design a unilateral design, and we have to find out how much tolerable error it is there, okay. So since we have to S12 is not equal to 0, so we have to find out what is the unilateral figure of merit. So that unilateral figure of merit which will give the maximum tolerable error. So now this unilateral figure of merit we know that, and also first we need to check the stability condition. So what is the stability of this one, the transistor, whether it is stable or not. So for that we need to find out what is the K. So earlier whatever we have in stability check which we have seen, so that K value we need to find out. Okay, and also delta value we need to find out. So you can see the delta, you know that S11, so S1 S22 minus S12 S21. So this magnitude values you can take and you can find out what is the value, and then K value also you need to find out, that is 1 minus S11 minus S22 minus delta divided by 2 S12 S21. So that you need to find out. So now for this, so we can able to find out, and it will come out as 2.28. so that is greater than 1. So then we can check this value later, and here this will give 0.16 which is less than 1. So from these two conditions we can able to get, so this transistor, given transistor is so unconditionally stable. Okay, so once we get these two values, so then we will going to find out what is the unilateral figure of merit. So that is S12 S21 and then S11 and S22 divided by 1 minus S11 square into 1 minus S22 square. Okay, so take this equation and you can find the value. So it comes out to be 0.05. So you can check it. So now, so this maximum tolerable error, whatever epsilon which we have defined, okay, so here, so this epsilon which is nothing but 1 over 1 minus u square. Okay, so that is 1 over 1 plus u square, that is u whole square, sorry. So this less than or equal to, so gt by gt u, that is gt max for unilateral case, and divided by 1 minus u whole square. Now if I substitute this u value here, so in terms of dB, so that is 10 log of this value, so whatever 1 plus 1.05, and so taking 1 over that, and you will going to get minus 4.45 dB. So that is less than or equal to gt by gt max less than or equal to 0.45 dB. So now we need to compare this error. So this is actually the error, because we are assuming S12 as so 0, so instead of 0.04. so now this is the error which is coming around 0.45 dB. So now we need to find out what is the values of the gain. So that is the total gain, gt max. So for unilateral case, so that is gs max, g0 and gl max. So now we can able to find out by using this S11 and S22. So that gs max we can able to find out by using S11, that is 1 minus S11 square. So we can put the value, so 1 minus S11 is 0.55 square, so we can able to find out the value. Okay, so this is comes out around 1.43. so in terms of dB, that is gs max in terms of dB, which will be equal to so 1.55 dB. Okay, now similarly we have gl max. Okay, so which is equal to 1 minus S22 square, which is equal to 1 minus so 0.45 whole square, so which is equal to, we will going to get the gl max which is around 1.25. in terms of dB, gl max in terms of dB, so you will going to get 0.97 dB. Okay, so now g0, so which is nothing but S21 square. Okay, so S21 value is 2.82 square, and g0 in terms of dB, so we can get it as so 7.9 that is in terms of dB, which is around 9 dB. So now if I take the addition of all these value GT max in dB, so which is equal to, so 1.55 dB plus 0.97 dB plus 9 dB. So if I add all these things, you will going to get, so that is 11.55 dB. Now you can see what is the error which we got. So error which we got it as 0.45 dB. Okay, so now compared to 11.55 dB, so 0.45 dB it is we can able to tolerate. So that is, so we can neglect this error and we can proceed with the amplifier design for unilateral figure of merit. So now it is acceptable. So this range of error which is acceptable. Okay, so it should not go beyond 2 dB, 3 dB like that. So within 1 or 1.5 dB, so then it is an acceptable range. So then only we can proceed with the further part, that is designing for this. So the output, that is GL max and GS max of this much dB. Okay, so we will going to proceed for the input and output matching network. So for that input and output matching network, we know that, so the GS, the gamma, so whatever in, or so that we have seen that, so your gamma in which will be nothing but S11 star and gamma out which is equal to S22 star. Now for this case, unilateral case, so the gain, constant gain circle, so which is for input side, it is a single point, that is S11 star. Okay, so the gain point will be a single point. Okay, so now we need to match, so the input side to this point. Okay, so that matching we need to do. So that is S11 star, which is nothing but, so S11 which is given it as, so 0.55 at an angle minus 150. So now we can find out S11 star, which is equal to 0.55 at an angle plus 150 degree. Now we need to mark this point on the Smith chart and we have to obtain this gain for the input side. And similarly output side, S22 star, which is equal to 0.45 at an angle plus 30 degree. Now we need to mark these 2 points. Okay, so then we have to match the input as well as output side. So for that, so we will take a Smith chart and we will mark these points, that is input constant gain point and the output constant gain point. So once we mark that, then we can able to design the matching network. Okay, so for that we can see here, so the first one at the input side. Okay, so where we have 0.55 at an angle 150, so that we need to mark here. So 0.55 radius you take. Okay, 0.55 radius you take and then just cut one line, so which should reach the point where 150 degree it is there. So 0.55 at an angle 150 degree. So that 150 degree you need to mark it. So where this radius will going to cut that 150 degree line. Okay, so now this is the point, so where we are getting the S11 star. So that is the single constant gain point at the input side. Now similarly, so we are getting the S22 point, you can mark 0.45 at an angle 30 degree. Okay, so take the radius 0.45. Okay, so 0.45 radius you take and mark it, and you can get the value at exactly 30 degree angle. So now you can see, so this is the 30 degree point and you can mark the point here. So this is your S22 star. Okay, so now I have marked the 2 values, that is input constant gain point, that is S11 star, and this one S22 star, so where this point is there. So now we need to match, okay, the center point, because this is the matching point 50 ohm. So now we need to move from this point to this point for the input matching network, and from this point to this point we need to move for the output matching network. Okay, so now in order to move from this point to this point, so we will follow that the elements which are L and C, whatever we used earlier method. Now we can see, so this point it is along with this circle, okay. So till this value, because this corresponds to this unity conductance circle, so till this point we will going to come, okay. And then so from this point we can move to this point. So this is what the input matching network, where we will be having two elements, okay. So now if you see, so we are moving conductance circle on the conductance circle downwards. So this is nothing but the shunt C, okay. So this is shunt C, and we can mark it as CS, because the source side we are matching CS, and this one we are moving, so on the resistance circle upwards. This is series L, we can mark it as source side LS. So this is series L. Now we need to find out the values of this CS and LS, okay. So how to find out? So find out the how much the susceptance offered by this shunt capacitor, okay. So then equate it to that equation, whatever we know earlier, the equations which we have used, okay. So now we can see, so how much susceptance, I will just read. So this is 0, and this is the value where we will going to get the susceptance value. So you need to read in the Y chart, because it is a shunt C, okay. So now you can see around it is 1.58 I am getting, okay. So this is 0 and this is 1.58. So that value we can so mark it J 1.58. So now we know the equation for shunt C. So that is J omega C divided by Y naught. So now by using this we can able to find out what is the capacitance value, that is CS at the source side, okay. So this CS, which is equal to 1.58, so into 0.02, because 1 over 50, that is Y naught. So that is 0.02, 1 by 50 it will give 0.02. This divided by 2 pi into 10 into 10 power 9. So because in the problem which is specified it as 10 gigahertz, okay. So we need to take that 10 gigahertz. So now you need to calculate what is the CS value. So find out the CS value. What is the value? Anybody is doing? So find out the CS value. 1.58 into 0.02 divided by 2 pi into 10 into 10 power 9. Anybody calculated? Hello? Kishore, Kavya, Shini, anybody calculated? This is a value. Okay, 0.50 picofarad. Okay. So now similarly we need to find out the L. So now you can see here. So this is the series L. Okay, series L. So we need to find out, this is the destination point. So see the what is the value of the reactance. So it is around 0.24 or 25. Okay, 0.25 this at this point, and at this point so we are getting the reactance value, which is 0.45 we can take. Okay, so now 0.45 plus 0.25. Okay, 0.45 plus 0.25. So that is add 0.45 plus 0.25. So which is equal to J omega Ls divided by Z naught. So this is the series inductor. So equation for series inductor. So now Ls we can able to find out. So that is 0.45 plus 0.25, how much? 0.7. So we will going to get 0.7 into 50, this Z0. So this divided by omega, which is 2 pi into 10 into 10 power 9. So this is what the Ls value. Find out the value. .55 nanohenry. Okay. So now similarly we need to find out the output matching network. So that is, this is the point where I am having the constant gain point. So now I will move along this constant conductance circle till the value of unity resistance circle. So this is unity resistance circle. So now we can see, so from this point to this point we can move. So now we can see this is, we are moving on the resistance circle downwards. So this is series C. Okay. So now we can call that one as CL, because at the load side we are doing, that is CL, series C. And similarly we are moving upwards on the constant, the conductance circle. So this is upper side, so it is shunt L. So that we can call it as LL, because at the load side we are doing. So now we need to find out what is the value of CL. So this is offering the reactance of this much. So now we can see at this point, so the value of reactance, it is around 1.22 we can take. So because 1.22 minus 0, it is 0. So this is in the negative side, that is lower half. We are reading in the Z chart, that is reactance, which is equal to minus J 1.22. Okay. So now minus J 1.22, so which is equal to minus J by omega C Z0. This is the series capacitance equation. So now we can find out from this what is the, so this is CL which we have modified, that is named it as. So now from this we can able to find out what is CL. Okay, CL which is gives 1.22 into 50. So okay, so 1 over, okay, so this is 1 over 1.22 into 50 into 10 into 10 power 9. So now we can find out what is the value of CL. So into 2 pi is there. Okay. So this is what the CL value, we can find out what is the CL value. .26 picofarad. Okay. So now similarly we have to find out the final value, that is LL value. Okay. So now where we have the susceptance point here. Okay. So the susceptance here around it is between 0.4 and 0.5, we can take it as 0.48. Okay. So this is, this value up to this value it is 0.4, because this is 0 and this value is 0.48. And we have to find out this much value also here. So around, so we are getting 0.223 or 22, so we can approximately take that one. Okay. So since it is a shunt L, so we know that shunt L which is equal to J by omega L Y0, which is equal to, so now we can see here, so this is minus J 0.22 minus this 0.48, so that will give minus J 0.22 plus, so what is this value, which is 0.48. So now we can find out this LL. So LL which is equal to 1 over, so 2 pi into 10 into 10 power 9 into Y0 is 0.02 into the that is susceptance value, which is equal to 0.7. Okay, so find out the value of L. It is 1 over 2 pi into 10 into 10 power 9 into 0.02 into 0.7. What is the value of this LL? .13 nano Henry. Okay, so now we have designed the complete matching network. So we can write the how we can write the complete circuit. Okay, so now first we have the transistor. Okay, so now we have match at the input side. So from the input side, so what is the first value? So first value from the 50 ohm, so we have CS and then series L, that is first shunt capacitor we have CS. Okay, from source side we are moving, so then we have the inductor, that is LS. So then we have at the output side, first we are moving from the output side, so that is 50 ohm load. So now first from the 50 ohm load, first we are moving a series capacitor, then shunt L. Okay, so this is first we have the series capacitor at the load side, then we have the shunt inductor which is LL. So this is what the complete, so this is the input matching circuit for the given maximum gain at the input side, and this is the matching network for the output side. Now this will give the whatever maximum gain we have calculated, so that is 1.55 whatever we are calculated. So this side will give GS max of, that is 1.55 dB, and this transistor which is giving the gain of 9 dB, and this one will give the GL max which is the gain of 0.97 dB. So this is what we will going to design the maximum gain amplifier. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt in this? How we can obtain the gain points and matching network? If you have any query, you can ask. Otherwise we will do similar kind one more problem so that we can able to understand better. Okay, so anybody any query? You can take this one more problem and we can do it. Okay, so take this problem and try to do this for the maximum gain amplifier. Design a maximum gain amplifier at 1 gigahertz. Okay, whose S parameters, so that is maximum gain amplifier for BJT. So the transistor which is given it as BJT. So design a maximum gain amplifier for BJT at 1 gigahertz whose S parameters are given by S parameters which is given by 0.7 at an angle minus 160 degree, 0, then 5 at an angle 85 degree, then 0.5 at an angle minus 20 degree. So now here we don't have to assume anything because S12 is 0. Okay, so directly we can use the unilateral design and we can do it. So now find out the GS max. So that is source side, GS max we can able to find out, that is 1 over 1 minus S11 square. Find out by putting the 0.7 value and find out what is the GS max and GL max and also G naught. So what is the value for this? 1 over 1 minus 0.7 square. What is the GS max? Hello? Anybody calculated what is GS max? Find out the value. Okay, 1.96. And this one, what is the GL max? .33. Okay, and this S12 square, which is 5 square, which is equal to 25. Okay, so that is fine. So now we can find out what is the dB value by taking 10 log of this one. So take log of this one and multiply by 10. So tell me what is the dB value for this GS max. So GS max in terms of dB and GL max in terms of dB and G0 in terms of dB. Okay, so find out the values of in GS max, GL max in terms of dB values. Take log of this value, multiply by 10. Okay, 2.92 dB. Similarly this one, okay, 1.23 dB. So now this one, .9, okay, dB. So now these are all the values which we obtained. So now GTU maximum in terms of dB, because this is unilateral design where we have S12 is 0. So which will be adding all these things, 2.92 plus 1.23 plus 13.9. So this is the total value of the gain. What is the value? What is the total value of the gain? Okay, 0.05 dB. Okay, so this is the maximum gain from this the complete design we are going to get. But in order to get that, so in order to get this input output, so whatever we have specified GS max and GL max in terms of dBs, we need to match the network. So that we know that gamma S source side, which will be getting by taking S11 complex conjugate, which is nothing but 0.7 at an angle plus 160 degree, and similarly gamma L, which is equal to S22 star, which is equal to 0.5 at an angle 20 degree. Okay, so now we need to mark these 2 points on the Smith chart. So then we have to get the required matching network. So now we can mark this 0.7 at an angle 160 degree. So mark this 0.7 at an angle 160 degree. So take the 0.7 radius and then 160 degree where it is. So here 160 degree is there here. So I will just cut here and then I will draw one line from the center to match that 160 degree. to that line. So now this is the point where we are going to get the S11 star. Now similarly S22 star 0.5 at an angle 20 degree. So this is 20 degree and we have to get the radius of 0.5, the reflection coefficient graph. So this is 0.5 radius and we have okay. So now I have marked these two values, that is S11 star and S22 star. Okay. So now from these points we need to again match to the center point. From center point we can come till the value where we will going to get this point. So it is parallelly, it is coming on this circle. Okay, so again this is, so we are moving in the downwards, shunt C, okay, and then series L. Okay, similarly we have this point and till this point we have, so in between the circle it is coming, so you have to parallelly run that circle till this point, that is unity resistance circle, then you can mark this. So now this is again series C, so which we can mark it as CL, and this one so shunt L. For the load side we can mark it as LL. So now find out the values of CS, LS, CL and LL. Okay, so try to find out. So now you can see the CS value, so which is offering the susceptance value, so till this point, so you can see this is the value which is offering, around it is 0.48 something like that, sorry 2 susceptance, right? So since susceptance which is 2.2 something. Okay, so now 2.2 we can take and we can write that. So since it is a series shunt capacitor, so shunt capacitor we know the equation, which is j omega c divided by y naught, which is equal to how much value we got, so it is 2.2, around 2.2 we are going to take. So now find out the value of CS. CS equal to 2.2 into 0.02 divided by 2 pi into 1 gigahertz, 1 into 10 power 9. Find out the value of CS. What is the value of CS?
Seven pico, sir.
7 picofarad. So now similarly find out the series L. So how much the reactance which is offering, around it is 0.4 here, and this point is around 0.18 something. So add those things and find out. Okay, so here only we are going to find out the LS. So we know the equation. So the series L, j omega L by Z naught, which is equal to that is 0.18 plus 0.4, so around 0.58 Okay, so now find out the value of ls which is equal to 0.58 into z0 which is 50 divided by 2 pi into 1 into 10 power 9. So this is the value of ls. What's the value of ls? Okay, 4.61 nanohenry. Now similarly find out the series C, that is load side CL. So now which is offering the reactance of around 1.32 something or 35, so exactly in between this. So 1.35, I'll take that 1.35, that is minus J by omega C Z0 which is equal to minus J 1.35. So this is CL. So find out the value of CL which is equal to 1 over 1.35 into 50 into 2 pi into 1 into 10 power 9. Find out the value of CL. Okay, this is the value of CL.
Two 2.35 pico.
Okay, 2.35 picofarad. Similarly find out the LL. So that is shunt L. So it is giving the susceptance here around 0.5 and here around in between 0.1 and 0.2 which is 0.15 you can take. Okay, so minus 0.15 minus 0.5, that is minus 0.65. So that is minus J by omega L y naught which is equal to minus J 0.65. So now we can find out the LL value which is equal to 1 over 0.65 into 0.02 into 2 pi to 1 into 10 power 9. Find out the value of LL. So now after finding out we can write the network. So whatever we got the CS values, LS values, and then we can write. So from the input side we have the capacitor CS and then we have the inductor LS. Okay, and then load side. So now we have the load capacitor CL, then inductor. So what is the value of LL? Whatever we got here, 12.24 nano henry. Okay. So now this is what the values LL, CL and CS LS which we got, and this will give the gain of whatever we got 2.92 dB, and this will be the gain, the transistor which gives around 13.9, and this output matching which will give 1.23 dB. So this is how we are going to get the complete maximum gain of 18.05 dB. So that is what we are going to get. So this is what the maximum amplifier gain design. So if you have any queries you can ask. Any doubt, anybody? Okay, so then we will stop here, we will continue in the next.